What's up, all Berserker Bowl fans? It is your host with the most, Kengan, the bestest boy in the world, Kengan. And me, your other co-host, Griever, as always, bringing you guys Kengan Omega. Kengan Omega chapter 179, entitled Adam vs. Ryuki. Now, that is a very misleading title. Is Adam vs. Ryuki happening in this chapter? Yes, but I think they could have come up with a better... I think the next chapter should have been entitled Adam vs. Ryuki, but what do I know about chapter titling? I mean, I only bitch about it every goddamn manga I ever read. Anyway, not the point. The point is that, boom, baby, we have, of course, our betting that you guys all know. We have our locked-in bets. We are 2-1 in our wins versus losses over the Berserker Bowl, and right now we are betting on Ryuki, though you guys know, as you can tell from the graphic, and if you've watched my previous reviews and stuff, you guys know that I am hoping, I think Adam's going to lose, especially now that Koga won, especially because Koga won. I am 110% convinced, with a shredded doubt, a little shredded doubt, 110% convinced, but still a shred, that Ryuki is absolutely going to win. They're going for that. But I still want Adam to, a little bit of that. I need a little bit of the, from Adam. So, on this Sasuke fucking whiny bitch wannabe, right? So, that being the case, this chapter, however, I like. Now, I know a lot of people, I've said this before, I know a lot of people don't like the worm plot lines and all that bullshit, right? And from a week-to-week basis, I don't have it. I don't know it. I could binge read it. I binge read Ashura, and then when Omega was out, I was already playing catch-up. KVP was done by the time I started getting into Omega. So, as a result, I don't really... The worm thing isn't holding me back. I see the problems with it, but they don't bother me as much as other fans. And this particular chapter, I think it's great. It's not just good, it's actually great, because we get everything, all the loose ends are being tied up. I don't know why anybody would complain about this. If you don't like the word, let's look at the two options, or the three options in this chapter. You hate the worm plot lines, and you want it to be over. Okay? You're neutral about the worm plot lines, like yours truly, and yet, whatever. Or you like the worm plot lines. Well, in all three respects, this is closing the door on like half a dozen fucking loose ends from both Asura and Omega, now tied up in a neat little bow, and we can move on. Regardless what camp you're in, that's a good thing. And now we're moving forward with what's the connector? What's the main thing about the worm? Right? We've taken all these little subplots and we're slowly diverging them, like coming to the close to find the spider at the end of a spider web, right? We got all the threads and boom, there we go. So there's no issue here. This is actually very, very good. And coming back to something that I said before in a discussion video or another review, I was really hoping that the connector wouldn't just be like Shu Wulong, wouldn't just be... that High Spoon thing where the Wu clan was doing, like, it's the same memories passed down. I was like, we just did that with the Wu clan, and that's with Eddie, and now Eddie's son or whatever like that, and it's like, all right, that's its own separate thing. I hope we don't do that. So at first, when I read this chapter, I was a little disappointed, but then it all came together. As I said, loose plot lines, loose threads, all coming together to say... The connector, they're trying to make the ultimate fighter, they're trying to make the ultimate connector, right? Between cloning techniques, between Bando's research, between Yamagohan's eldest son, and the Wu Clan technique, all four encompassing. We're not doing some quasi, they even call it that, they say quasi-pseudo, sort of, not real reincarnation, but a sort of the best we could offer version of reincarnation. No. They're attempting full-on magical fucking boom, we've remade the same dude from whatever 1,000 years ago. He's back. We've revived him. They're trying true reincarnation. And that I like because, once again, it ties up all the shit. Metsudo and Iryu were scared of this motherfucker, which we saw at the beginning of the chapter. They were like, oh shit, this guy. And he admits it. He goes, intimidated even me. They brushed it off as, you are an exception. You're a fossil. You're an exception to the rule. Nobody lives as long as fucking you. So this dude's dead. And like, and then this board here, the board of the Worm Council, comes together and basically says, yeah, but if you combined, this would make sense. This all adds up. You have Bando's research, you know, you have Yamagohan's son's research with the brain thing. You have the cloning techniques of the worm. You have the Wu clan's version of memories and personality being passed down in this Hycene method, or I don't know how to pronounce it, guys. Sorry about that. And then of course you have Bando's research too, right? It's all culminating in the perfected version of, you know, Jackie Lee here, right? Now, the thing that I find interesting about that, though, and a lot of people I think are going to jump to the conclusion because we get the Nogi is thinking like, so Oma and Ryuki, they're all no. Let's just say cheers to all the people that think that that's the no. Let's say cheers, because here's what's actually happening. Oma and Ryuki were or are byproducts of an attempted method to bring the connector fully into the world. It didn't work. See what I'm saying? They're the failed projects. The Shadow the Hedgehog, the ultimate life form, believing they're the ultimate life form, but failed. They're failed byproducts of attempting this method. And they kept getting it better and better and better. Because once again, and people will say, well, Shen Wulong, Wulong, he's clearly like as older than Oma and stuff. How would that be possible? Well, if they perfected cloning and they perfected all this shit, right? If they used all these methods that they just talked about, all in tandem, they could remake the connector. He could be born like, has no one ever seen fucking Star Wars? Did no one ever watch Attack of the Clones? They didn't make stormtroopers in 25 years. They made them in like 10. So they were, because they have accelerated growth rate and all that stuff. And if you clone someone, I'm sorry. If you have a cloning technique and you take my skin cells and you clone another me, guess what you're getting? You're not getting baby me. I was adorable. I had blonde curls. Absolutely adorable. But you're not getting me as a child or a baby. You're getting me probably the age I am now at 31. So why am I led to believe that? Like, it's so clear to me that Oma and Ryuki are byproducts, but aren't the finished product. And they might have been tests on what. All right. So not only do I think they're byproducts, but I also believe that Jackie Lee, our beer bro Jackie Lee, is also got zero relation to them in the cloning process. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. I'm going to say that Jackie Lee is absolutely, and I just love that name, so I'm going to keep using it. Jackie Lee, their sources are different. I'm going to say that they tried it with Oma and Ryuki before. It didn't work. Their byproducts failed or not failed, what have you, with person A, right? Jackie Lee is with all the technology, all the methods from person B. I don't think they're connected in that way. I think they attempted to do it with Oma and Ryuki, but the base product was something else. Because one key thing that I noticed, and I was watching Miss Content's reaction to this, was he doesn't share the pupils. So I'm just sitting there like, that's a little foreshadowing, a little bit of a sign, but also I just think it would be better if it's like, yeah, they not only perfected it, but the guy who becomes the connector wasn't about to fucking, is this technology ready yet? Is it no. You test it. You do some animal fucking testing on the ants, on the humans, on the lesser beings first. You perfect this shit, and I don't care how many thousands of children you have to sacrifice. When you perfect it, then you get my DNA. And then we create the connector, who is now our man, Beer Bro Jackie Lee. See what I'm saying? It makes total sense because the cloning thing has been done in multiple animes long before this, and that's always the case. It's always the billionaire or the ultimate fighter or the old dude. The byproducts and the main characters and all these people are never from his blood. They're always wasted. They're always the tests, the experiments to see if it can work before they actually try the real thing. Right? So that's my idea going into this entire chapter. That's my theory. So I'm saying it now so when we get more information later. The rest of the chapter goes out. We get a great fucking scene. We have an absolutely banger of a scene between, of course, our man, Jackie Lee, Yamagohan, Joji, and then we get Patrick Star and what's his name show up. I forget his name. It's like too many Y's in his name. But, I think he's Yoshi too. Anyways, so Mr. Yoshi and Mr. Patrick Star show up. And they're like, hey, want some sake? Let's drink. Let's do this. Let's do that. So it's a boy dance party. Boom, 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 boom. It's a boy dance party. Boom, 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 boom. Right? So this is my favorite scene. Honestly, this is my absolute favorite scene because, it opens up with Jackie saying, I got more beer. Let's keep drinking. And I'm like, I know he's saying it with a deadpan face, but I'm like, I love this fucking guy. This dude's like, these guys are awesome. I don't care that I know that, I'm the head of the Wormwood bitter. I like drinking with these guys. I just bought a whole fucking 12-pack. He carries a whole bag of, he's got 8 beers in the bag. He's like, let's keep drinking. And I'm like, spirit animal. Best villain right here. I don't even know if he is a villain, honestly. I feel like him and Omar are going to be like, bro, right? I have a feeling because he's just too cool. He's too cool for school. So an absolutely fantastic scene. Though our man Mulong, he does notice that Yamagohan, though he's playing up the thing and he seems to be the bumbling idiot, he recognizes Yamagohan's true inner 4D chess character, and he's like, he might be looking like that on the outside, but he's actually worried about something. And of course he's worried because Ryuki is starting the fight. And of course the title of the chapter, Adam versus Ryuki. They start off the fight. We get Nitoku, isn't that his name? Yeah. Nitoku. Anyways, so Nitoku is here. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but the dude who fought the Fang before and blah, blah, blah was in KVP. I try to block KVP out of my memory, honestly. One of the worst things I've read in a good long while. But, yeah. He's going to be the announcer in the booth or the color commentator, what have you. And we do actually start the fight, Adam versus Ryuki. And of course he's going to use Blink and the Gao style combined, which actually works out very well because the Gao style and the Koi style actually work very well in tandem because they're all about speed, bam, one hit KOs. That's what they're about. They're both about that. So it's actually, unlike Koga with the Weeping Willow and all that shit, him learning Koi style on top of the Gao style is actually, ironically, is better than the main characters. It's better than Koga's because, and you could argue they're dual protagonists, but it actually, that would be an advancement on the Gao style to learn Blink and Raksha's Palm and all that stuff. It does make sense. But here's the best part, is that he uses Blink right out of the gate. Adam, get the fuck out of here. And I just kicked my knee on the table. That hurt. But anyway, he says, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, yeah, so he saw it coming. So either Ryuki's Blink isn't perfect, or Adam has been training, remember, with Cosmo and Cosmo's Master for the past few years, since the Annihilation Tournament. Though he got defeated in the first round, that doesn't really mean that much when you consider who else lost in round one, depending on their opponent. So he's no slouch. Blink isn't going to work on Adam, especially if if he's been training this whole time. And the fact that he can react to Blink is very impressive. Does he know that Blink is coming like Kuroki did? Did somebody warn Adam? Maybe. I feel like maybe somebody did. But even so, it's still badass that the fact that he's like, yep, nope. And he hasn't actually gotten a clean hit on Adam yet. And the chapter ends with Adam basically saying, I am going to absolutely destroy you. Like, I am going to teach you a fucking lesson, brat. Or kid, or whatever he says. And I'm just like, let's go. I'm here for it. Because as I said, I still think Adam's going to lose. I will gladly take the L. I will put the L right here on my forehead. I will put that L if Adam wins. I will gladly take that L. I want Ryuki to lose. I'm betting on Ryuki, but it doesn't mean I want him to win. Sort of like when you put $50 down in the Super Bowl and Tom Brady's there. I don't like it, but I would be an idiot not to put the money on the Brady, right? So, you got to put your money where your mouth is sometimes. But the fact of the matter is that the chapter I thought was really good for a number of reasons with the worm plot lines all come together. It brings up my theory, which I explained in this review. It brings up my theory that a lot of people are saying, oh, it's all cloning, they're all connected. No, I don't think in the way we think. I've read a lot of manga, a lot of cloning shit before, both comic books and manga, and I think that my theory is more plausible if we get some good writing. People have been arguing that maybe Sandro isn't making the best writing right now, so it is what it is. But anyways, I actually really like the chapter. I like the pacing. The title is not, as I watched Mist's reaction before this, Adam vs. Ryuki is not the appropriate title, but it's still technically Adam versus Ryuki, and we see that Adam is he's not gonna be one shot like Chiba. We already did that with Chiba. It's not gonna happen again. Adam's ready for Blink. Let's fucking go. Let's have him smash this bitch's face in. I'm here for it. So that's all I got to say about Chapter 179. I know it was a bit longer because I had my theory about Shen Wulong and all that cloning shit, but it was a lore-based chapter. It was an information dump chapter, so a little more to talk about other than they fight. So anyways, that's it for me, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the chapter. I really did. I thought it was a solid chapter. I thought it was a great chapter even. 8 out of 10. Easy. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys back here next time. Drink responsibly. As always, see you back here for 180. Bye-bye.